Has any one of you guys been skiing? Yes, just like you go skiing at Snow Planet at times, yeah. There is the mountain in the middle of the North Island, yes. Who knows what that area is called? That is a natural reserve, isn't it? Tongariro, isn't it? There's three reserves there, that's really right. Yeah, there's some more in the South Island as well. So at the moment, is there still snow there? I suppose so. It's pretty cold. And I heard, Kuri, are you not going down every weekend? Because you are professionally snowboarding, right? Yeah, it's cold sometimes, isn't it? You have special clothing for that. Yeah, so do I. Special clothing for that. And as you guys know, I'm from Germany. And in Germany, the winter is very cold at times. And sometimes it snows and sometimes it doesn't, but it's still very, very cold. Very cold. So I remember times when I was younger, when I was about your age, that every winter it would get so cold without snowing that all the waterways would be covered in ice. First, the ice was very thin, and we knew because we would poke a stick and the ice would break. Sometimes the ice would grow a little bit thicker. We would take big boulders that you can find in the area we are from, in the peat area we are from, and we would throw the boulders onto the uh, onto the ice, and sometimes the boulder would disappear into the water. Other times it would just go plonk, tong, 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 and roll along, and we knew, this might be a start. So one of our group who would feel very brave at the time would start with the foot just going and just hitting it down really hard, and just seeing if the ice would break. And then slowly but surely, one foot and then the other, just trying to see if the ice is hard enough. If it would carry the first one, the second one would go onto the ice. So if the ice would be strong enough to hold the first child, then we would all slowly but surely hop onto the ice, each person again just trying. And as we were all getting onto the ice, getting more comfortable and starting to run around, starting to slide, and starting to just, roll around on the ice, one sitting down on the butt like this with the hands up, and the other person would grab the hands and just swing them around on the ice. Because that's the great thing. If it hasn't been snowing, that means there's no snow on the ice. And the ice is just perfectly flat. Because the area where we are from, and in North Germany, we have lots of waterways, but also all these waterways have got a hump on either side. So there's a waterway and a hump on either side, what means no wind can disturb the water surface when it starts freezing. And it's just a perfect mirror, so inviting for ice skating. Some of you might have seen ice skates already before. I've got a picture here I want to show you. Ice skates are these. So they are a shoe with a shoelace, and underneath the shoe is metal. And this metal is a very thin blade, which is hollow. So the blade is hollow. So you're basically skidding along like you're on a catamaran. And if you go into the corner, you are just on one side of the curve. Or if you're going to the other side, you're on the other side of that curved blade. If you're straight, you're on both sides of the curved blade. And you can drive very, very quick. It's very similar to rollerblading. Or you take the left foot, the right foot, like this, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. And your arms are swinging. You can go really quick. And then if you want to make a break, then you turn half in a circle or a full circle and skid along and go and you're curving up the whole ice. So while you're doing that, your feet are getting cold because to keep the ground frozen, it has to be below zero. And that means there's a lot of cold air coming from underneath. And your feet are getting colder and colder and colder. But not just your feet. Because even though you're sporty and active and you've got a thick jacket on, have a clothes, not like this, but with long sleeves as well, and a scarf around that you hold in front of your face like that, it's like it's wrapped around like this, so you can hardly see anything. And you have wearing gloves as well. Usually it's the jeans that you're wearing, but your jacket is long. It's a long poncho. And you have thick socks on as well. Socks from sheep fur. Really thick socks and sheep inlays in your skates as well. But still you're getting so cold that your feet are getting numb and your nose is getting numb. And when your nose is getting numb, it's getting really red, really like red like a tomato. And also your cheeks are starting to get really red. And the cold air, when you're breathing in the cold air, that is a sensation like you might have had before when you get a milkshake, a really cold, like an icy shake from a frost shop, and you drink this icy shake through a straw, and it feels like you're being numb in here, right? So that is the feeling you are having all through the nose, not so much here a little bit, but all through the nose. And I know that everybody feels like that because all my friends would also look at me with these red noses and cheeks, and they would complain about the same sensation. And when the feet are getting really cold, they're quite tight with those thick socks in the skates. And when they get really cold, you can't actually feel your toes anymore. And if you can't feel your toes anymore, it feels like they're swollen to double the size. It feels so stuck and solid inside of these skates. But we still wanted to continue. We didn't want to stop ice skating. And we would continue. And this is a photo of some of us on the ice. See? There we are on the ice playing a game on skates, and we have a stick, so we play something like hockey. And we would stay until it's late and the sun is coming down, which is, when the sun is coming down in Germany in winter? 4 o'clock. So this is actually 4 o'clock with the sun coming down. And sometimes it would start to snow. And this is the center of our city. The city is surrounded by, the city surrounds the church. So this is how it looks like when it's snowy. So now you might get more of an idea how cold it can be. I have another photo to show you because the ice is not all the time completely like a mirror. Sometimes when it starts defrosting a little bit and then frosting again, defrosting, frosting, look what builds. Bubbles. So we would be on there with our ice skates and trying to pick those bubbles and make them burst. That would leave us with many holes, and other people who would want to play hockey, they would be falling over the holes and they would be upset with us picking the ice. And sometimes, if you had a big fall after a really quick skating along or a race on the river, this would happen. Oh my God. And you could hear it. And you could hear the ice crack disappearing into the far, far away distance. You can hear it, how it's eventually hitting the end of the end of the ice, and where the ice is attached to the land. You could hear it how it stops, and you could walk along the line, and you could see the rip all the way, all along. So if this would happen too much, we would not go on the ice anymore, because that would mean that the season for ice skating would come to a finish, and we would have to wait again for a whole year before we can go ice skating again. With all the cold nose and cold cheeks and the cold feet, eventually having frozen knees and the fingers. Often we would wear gloves where the whole hand is inside and the thumb has got its spare part. We would take the thumb out of the spare part and put it inside of our fist, inside of the glove, because our hands would be so cold and they would be numb as well. So if we would take our numb body home, we would be looking forward to hot chocolate. That was a highlight then. Hot chocolate and sitting down in front of a kamin. What's a kamin in German? A fire, an indoor fire. We'd sit in front of it and trying to get feeling into our limbs again. And nose. So the nose would be the first thing with feeling, and the rest would follow thereafter. But when the feeling comes back, it's such a strong, tingly sensation. It's almost painful, like pins and needles. You know, when you turn the skin one side one way and with the other hand the other side the other way. When you do that with your friend, that's pins and needles. And that's how it would feel when the feeling is coming back into the feet and into the hand. But only for about a minute or two. And then we would be able to walk again properly. And it will not keep us away for the next winter to be enjoying our ice skating again. So if you ever come to my hometown, would you go ice skating? What do you think? Is there any part here in New Zealand where you can go ice skating, apart from the Aotearoa Square where they built a fake ice rink? Do you think there's some places where there is real ice outside surrounded by nature?